Hi guys, it's Nick and Anne and welcome to our home.
Yes guys, so our first ever house tour London 2025. We've had a lot of house tours on this YouTube channel, but this is our most recent house, the one that Aunt and I are going to stay for the longest and hopefully raise a family in, so it's very exciting. Yeah, let's go and do a house tour.
So come inside. The first thing we kind of want to highlight in our home is this entrance. It may seem a bit boring to you, but it's something that's quite exciting to us are the original features that we managed to keep into the home.
So for a bit of context, this house dates from the 1800s, so there was a lot of original character in the house, and we've tried to keep as much as possible. Our builders did screw us over a little bit and got rid of some of the character, but besides that, I'm glad that these moldings stayed in because this is really what I think shows the age of the house.
So let's go explore some of the more modern features that we did put into the home, and we'll start off in room number 1, which is our living room.
So this is our living room.
This is honestly my favorite part of the house.
With this space, I really wanted to design a bit more of a funky, kind of like 70s colorful room. So I went colorful in the furniture, the rugs, and the paintings. One of our close friends actually commissioned this piece for us. This is our first ever piece of commissioned art. So I wanted the tones to kind of match the room layout. So kind of like some reds, some dark browns, some blacks, and as well, what's really cool is he's actually sketched both Aunt and I into the painting. So I'm sure we can all guess who's who.
Okay, let's
so
cover
that's
them up.
me,
Okay.
and then that's
cover your eyes.
That's also me, actually.
If you guys want to commission your own piece of artwork, I'll leave Alex's details all down below. So you can reach out and see some other pieces that he's created that are actually for sale as well. So if you want a piece of his work in your home, the details are below. Okay, let's head into the next room. As you can see, we're walking through these absolutely humongously tall arches. It's something that we put in. Nick was adamant he wanted arches in our house.
So with this house, again, like I said, when renovating it, it used to look very, very different. If you guys want a video of literally renovating a 10-year-old abandoned Victorian house, it looked nothing like this, and we can do a whole video where we show the befores and afters. But this house used to be very, very derelict and really in a horrible state, but they kept to the original layout of the Victorian era. So in the Victorian era, that was a living room, this room was a dining room, and then that was the kitchen in the back. What I did though is I just arched everything off and made it feel more open plan with keeping the original layout that they would have had in the 1800s. So if y'all want a video where we do the before and after of what this house used to look like, comment down below and let us know if you want that.
Alright, let's head into the dining room. This is probably our most bright and boldest and potentially riskiest room of the house. We went with this Blue 03 from the company called Lick. It screams in your face, but in a beautiful, subtle way.
Again, with this space, we brought the moldings back. These are the same moldings as in our living room. As well, what we did is I found an old fireplace from an old townhome in Kensington.
The backstory is the woman that was selling it on Marketplace installed a £25,000 fireplace. She ripped that one out, and then she installed a £60,000 fireplace.
And she was getting rid of character, so now it's in our house, which is perfect.
Thank you, Facebook Marketplace. We've gone for a different vibe of kind of styling the walls with artwork. These are all antique pieces that we found on antique fairs around England.
So funky was our living room, and this room is very traditional. So yeah, we really kept to paintings that, again, they would have had back in the day. By the way, we have no idea who these two people are. Everyone keeps asking us if it's Aunt and I.
Maybe us in a past life.
Maybe.
Wow.
When we bought the house, this would have been a really old wooden door that wasn't bringing in much light. So we actually knocked it all out and created a really big glass curtain door. If we have guests here, it's a hot day like today, we can just open it up and get some fresh air.
And when you have the door open, you have conveniently a bar right here, ready to sip on your drinks and aperitifs.
That gets used a lot.
Welcome to the kitchen, and this is, I keep saying every room is my favorite, but honestly Nick's done such an amazing job at designing every single room just so well, but also very different styles. So the cabinets all in this kitchen are German, so you know they're going to be efficient. We'll leave the links to our kitchen designer down below, and we put really expensive Carrara marble. If I could say there is potentially one negative of this, is it gets stained so easily when we have house parties with wine. Tequila stains, wine stains, oil stains, lemon stains. It's awful. Don't look. But as we said, there wasn't much character in this room initially, and it was completely molded and derelict. There used to be this huge wall here with tiny little doors heading out into the back garden, so we completely knocked all the walls down, added those crystal doors on the back as well, and opened it up, making it feel super bright.
So this is our second set of backyard doors, and this is my favorite thing in the world. So Aunt and I can be cooking, serving drinks here while all our friends sit out here, which is the next space, our backyard. And this is our backyard. So this garden is very small, very typical London. I wanted to have a feeling of like being in Provence, and so I really went for like terracottas, all these massive yucca trees, little palm trees, and for the actual outdoor furniture, I went very much oak, or what's it called?
Just natural teak wood.
Teak wood and the beige fabrics. I think it works in the space so well. It ties into our stones as well, our pea stones. Surprisingly, all the plants that you guys see out here will survive all winter long. This is the other side to the garden. As you guys can see, Winston loves to tan out here. He's out here more than we are, for sure. So this is where all our guests go pee and poo. So in the original layout of this house, this bathroom would have actually been at the very far back where our curtain doors were. So we had to take that out and put it here instead. What that did was the space in the kitchen felt a lot bigger, and also we had the space now to add really big back doors, which you've just seen in the last clip. But this is the bathroom.
Let's head upstairs.
Are you serious right now?
What we class this area here is the guest floor. We have the guest bathroom and the guest bedroom over there.
It was lovely that this house had different levels to it. The guests really feel like this is like their own space. First, let's walk into our guest bathroom.
Welcome to the guest bathroom.
So most of, well, actually the whole house was designed by me with Ant's approval. But with this space, I let Ant do a lot of the design choices in here, which actually ended up being really cool.
If there's one thing that I went behind his back and did with this house without his approval, was purchasing these marble floors. He said that they were way too expensive, we can't have them, we're out of budget. But you know what? We've got to finish the project eventually. So I went ahead and got this and designed basically this bathroom.
Both the guest room, so the guest bathroom, and the guest bedroom, we knocked the ceilings out and arched all the ceilings to create more height and make the rooms feel bigger, because both the guest spaces were tiny. Oh no, what happened? Who turned the water on here?
I guess it's not as clean as we initially thought. Let's go into the guest bedroom.
What is that?
Come on. Ow, sorry. So this is the guest bedroom. We did the exact same thing as we did in that bathroom. We knocked out the ceilings. What we initially felt was the room was really small. The entrance to the room was actually way back there into the hallway, and it felt like it made the house smaller. So what we wanted to have is a giant open planned landing over there, bring the doorway over here, knock out the ceilings, knock out the fireplace behind me, and really open up this tiny bedroom and make it feel a little bit bigger.
So the vibe I went for in here is very cozy and calm. I think we have guests from all over the world that come stay at our house, so I wanted the same vibe for everybody. And I planted some lovely flowers for our guests coming, so they have something nice to look at. And oh my god, I literally ironed that bed for like 3 hours.
I've been waiting for you for 10 minutes to get to our floor, and you're taking too long.
I'm gonna end it, seriously. Okay, can you And this is Antoni's bedroom. So this is where all the magic happens.
Honestly, this is probably my favorite color in the house. We've gone for Grigio 2 by the company Lick again. The entire house is Lick. In the sunlight especially, and even in winter, it just makes the room look beautiful. So for me, we've designed this room all around the paint color.
So this is a custom-made headboard. We matched with the pillows, and I love the kind of beige with the patterns. And this is not custom, but I found it and it looked similar, so I was like, perfect.
Wow, it does.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We also brought the moldings back. So these are different, but we brought some moldings back into this space. So these, again, are new, but would have matched what would have been once in here back in the day.
As you can also see, again, we have all these amazing oil paintings that are original, scattered through the house. This one's actually a mayor of a random town in England, somewhere in Kent. It's one of 5 oil paintings done of him. And for some reason, we have this one, and the other 4 are in the Civic Centre in Kent somewhere.
He overlooks us as we sleep and do other things. Anyways, next room. So the second half of the room that we split in half is our ensuite bathroom. So let's go check that out next.
As I said, I previously split this room that used to be the guest bedroom in half, and we actually knocked through a little doorway here so we can have an ensuite in here.
And this space is totally designed by me. Aunt had hated it actually for the longest time, so...
Whoa. Let's correct that. I didn't hate this. I hate the curtains. I wanted a glass feature there, okay? It stops the water and it doesn't get those curtains damp and moldy.
The curtains are not real they are real curtains, but they are waterproof material. I had to source these from Turkey. It was very difficult. So these are waterproof, believe it or not. They just look like cotton, which is great. So the same girl who did our kitchen downstairs created and custom made our sink vanity here. So it's actually the same marble as we have in our kitchen. So we had some leftover stone, so we brought it up here.
Ironically, this is called a his and hers, but let's change the tradition and call it a his and his. Despite...
It's a twinks and a twunks.
And we never use the twunk side, we both use this side.
So now we're in the shower, and these are the famous curtains that Aunt hates. I went with all brass finishes in this bathroom, so everything that you guys will see is brass. I need to clean it, clearly. And then with the tile, I went for something a bit funkier. I kind of wanted like a Spanish vibe, but that still ties in with all our color tones in our house, so beige, blacks, it all works. And this window we had to tint because we shower in here, and otherwise our neighbors would have a beautiful view of us showering every morning.
They probably still do.
They probably still do. All right, let's go into the next room. All right, guys, so Aunt and I are going back in the closet, so come with us in our walk-in closet. I went very, very bold in here. With my smaller rooms in my house, as y'all might have noticed, I tend to go a bit more bold with color, so I wanted a really dark, kind of like Aesop brown in here, so I feel like it kind of matches with the oak cabinets, and that was a DIY from Aunt and I, so this is like the only thing in our house that Aunt and I built.
The budget was wearing very, very thin, and I got quoted around $7,500 to do this in this closet alone, and we managed to DIY it ourselves from IKEA for $1,500.
Also, what's not very typical to have in the UK is a laundry room. Usually the washing machines are in the kitchens here, but I'm very, very North American, and I said no way in hell am I doing that. So I thought, why not do a laundry room in our closet? It makes the most sense. So we have a washer dryer over here, and in this corner we have all our soaps and irons and all that kind of stuff.
It's something that we were able to fix last minute, and you know what? I like having this room.
Let's go upstairs, the very last space. Alright guys, so this is the last floor and the last room of our house. So this is like our loft. Right now it's a storage / office, so mind the excess junk in there.
So we recently hired a videographer who's behind the camera right now. Shout out to Lance. And this is your room.
With this space, it's gonna change a lot actually over the next couple of weeks and months. So I'm gonna go totally different in here. I'm gonna go for a really dark color. I'm gonna get a really big stone desk. That chair is gonna stay, that's gonna stay, but you guys actually are gonna see this room transform. So if you guys want a whole video of us transforming a space, let me know in the comments down below.
I don't think it's quite there compared to the rest of the house, so I think there's a lot more things we could do with this space to really transform it and, you know, make it a really cool office for Lance.
Alright guys, that is it for our house tour 2025. Obviously there's a lot more work to do, and there was a lot of really cool befores, so if y'all want to see any of the before renovation process, this room being redone, let us all know in the comments down below if you want more home content in general. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, give us some support. Give the gays some love during Pride Month. Come on now.
Alright guys, lots of love from us and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.